Here are 7 reasons of why not to buy the 2026 Toyota RAV4 and what you should probably buy instead. Without a doubt, 2026 Toyota RAV4 is probably the biggest success story in terms of redesigns in the lineup and in the company's history. It's more efficient, more advanced, and definitely more refined than what it used to be, which means for many buyers, it may just be the perfect SUV, but there's something that most reviewers don't exactly tell you, and that is that the most popular Toyota isn't necessarily always the best Toyota for you. Reason number 1, if you need a new vehicle right away. If your current vehicle is breaking down and on its last leg, if you are in a rental vehicle, if your current lease vehicle expires in a couple of days or next week, then the 2026 Toyota RAV4 is probably not the right vehicle for you. You see, what happens when automakers redesign a very popular model that's already doing very well, for example, Toyota with the new RAV4, the demand explodes. Certain trims become difficult to find, popular colors disappear quickly, and the wait list for vehicles like this can become surprisingly long fast. Now, factors like this are fantastic for things like resale value, but if you are in need of new transportation right away, then it's not exactly the best choice. If timing really matters, I would consider a strong alternative to the new RAV4, which is the 2026 Toyota Corolla Cross. And yes, they are still available in both hybrid and non-hybrid, or if you want to step it up a little bit in terms of luxury, the Toyota Crown Signia is also a fantastic choice. Both of these models you can get relatively quicker than you can get any model Toyota RAV4. Bringing me to reason number 2 of why the new generation Toyota RAV4 may not be the best choice for you, and that is if you want a gasoline-only powertrain system. You don't want anything electrified, whether it's hybrid, plug-in hybrid, or EV, or if you want the alternative or opposite of a fully gasoline combustion engine powertrain and you want a full EV. You cannot get either of those things in the new generation of Toyota RAV4. They are available in 2 powertrain systems, the hybrid 5th generation powertrain system giving you 236 horsepower with the all-wheel drive, and the 6th generation plug-in hybrid powertrain system giving you just north of 320 horsepower with the 2026 Toyota RAV4 plug-in hybrids. Now, just a few quick things. If you're completely new to the hybrid powertrain system conversation, you can get yourself a free 50-page long hybrid ebook guide. I'll leave it linked in the description below. This covers all things like performance, efficiency, how to improve efficiency, what to expect in terms of maintenance, and all of the above. And if you're already a Toyota hybrid owner and you want to get a little bit more granular and specific to get the best out of what you already have, then I've made available for purchase a hybrid toolkit that you can actually get, also linked just below the free 50-page hybrid ebook guide, guys. And if you appreciate content and information like this, consider subscribing to the Toyota World YouTube channel. If you find yourself wanting a gasoline-only powertrain system, or if you find yourself wanting the complete alternative, a full EV, I would definitely consider still, yes, the Toyota Corolla Cross or the current generation of Toyota Highlander. The non-hybrid is available still in the XLE, Limited, and the Platinum, as well as the Sporty XSE, but not for long, which brings me to my next point. If you want a full EV, Toyota will be coming out with the 2027 Highlander over the next couple of months, probably towards the last quarter of 2026, and it should do very well and reach all the expectations that we're all hoping for. Again, full EV or non-hybrid, still have a lot of options within the lineup. And reason number 3 of why the 2026 all-new RAV4 just may not be the perfect vehicle for you in the lineup, and that is if you already own the previous generation of Toyota RAV4. Let me explain. This might just be the most debatable reason on the list, but let's break it down. Here's the thing. The all-new RAV4 has definitely improved both in powertrain, outside and inside, but it's not radically different. Toyota took an already successful formula and refined it. The result being a all-new RAV4 that is smarter, more efficient, and more modern. But it's still very much a Toyota RAV4. Some previous generation Toyota RAV4 owners, for example, from 2019 up to 2025 models coming into the all-new RAV4 will definitely feel like it's a lot nicer and more upgraded and advanced, but it still feels very much like a Toyota RAV4. So if you're expecting a completely different ownership experience in terms of what you're actually getting or what the vehicle or SUV feels like, then it may be time for you to switch into another model. For example, the Toyota Highlanders, like I mentioned previously, the Toyota Corolla Cross, either hybrid or non-hybrid, or for example, the Toyota Crown Signia. This will definitely scratch the itch of getting something completely different. This brings me to reason number 4 of why the new 26 Toyota RAV4 may not be the perfect SUV for you, and that is if you're a very tall driver. Yes, the 2026 Toyota RAV4 is all new and it has been updated, but when it comes to size, it hasn't really changed much from the previous generation. So if you already found yourself a little bit tight or uncomfortable in the previous gen Toyota RAV4, then going into the 2026 may not be much of an improvement for you. Toyota seems to have intentionally kept the new generation of RAV4 in the compact SUV size sweet spot, not too small and not on the larger side. Now, this is great for parking, city driving, and even efficiency. But again, if you're exceptionally tall or you find yourself just wanting something bigger than the previous gen RAV4, then you may want to look at an alternative model. Bringing me to reason number 5 of why the new generation Toyota RAV4 may not be the right model for you, and that is if you're looking for a super luxurious interior. This is where many potential buyers of the new gen RAV4 kind of misunderstand what it's supposed to be. It's clear that with the new generation already out for the last 2 quarters of the year, that the new generation RAV4 design is not necessarily targeted to be a luxury vehicle. The mission is clearly to be practical, reliable, comfortable, and durable, and most importantly, suitable for everyday use. But on the interior, it still feels like a Toyota RAV4. But again, back to my point, this is completely intentional. In fact, some buyers are actually gravitating a lot more towards the limited trim of the 2026 RAV4, specifically because of the interior. It is much more upscale than all the other models and trims, and it also offers a different color of an interior choice, which is the only model really for 26 RAV that you can do this, which is the black leather interior or the beige leather interior. And having that extra color choice really makes it feel like a completely different luxurious experience on the interior. Again, why the limited RAV4 is so popular. It's clear to see, especially with models like the Woodland Edition, that the new generation of RAV4, specifically the interior, gravitates more towards the truck feel side of things. For example, comparing to the Toyota 4Runner interior, Toyota Tacoma, and even the Toyota Sequoia interior. Bringing me to reason number 6 of why the new generation RAV4 may not be the perfect Toyota for you, and that is if you want more of a rugged, truck-like and truck-capable SUV. New Gen RAV4 certainly looks more tough, especially if you're going with models like the Toyota RAV4 Woodland Edition, but underneath it all, it still remains a compact SUV that's really built and designed for families, road trips, daily driving, and it's not trying to be a body-on-frame SUV, and it's definitely not trying to be something like a pickup truck, and Toyota isn't pretending otherwise. In terms of aggressive off-roading or completely new and capable driving modes, locking differentials, and more, consider going with models like the Toyota 4Runner, Toyota Land Cruiser, or even something like the Toyota Tacoma if you're okay with having a pickup style hybrid or non-hybrid Toyota vehicle. And this brings me to my final point of why the new Gen RAV4 just may not be the perfect Toyota for you, and that is if you really completely just do not need an SUV style of vehicle. Now, this reason is actually one of the most overlooked reasons of all these 7 points that I'm trying to make. Most buyers actually automatically assume they need or want an SUV because that's what everyone else is doing. The trend now for a long time has been SUVs. That's where there's so many different options available on the market and even in the lineup in the Toyota world. But if you're on the fence of actually wanting versus needing an SUV, here are a couple of questions you can ask yourself which may help you to decide. Do you regularly use cargo area, or do you need a larger cargo area? Do you need all-wheel drive capability? Do you need a higher ride height? Do you need any extra utility? If not, you may be paying for capability that you'll never really use. Alternative models in the lineup like the Toyota Prius, the Toyota Corolla, Corolla hatchback, the Corolla Cross, all available here except for the Prius in a hybrid and a non-hybrid. Also, except for the Corolla hatch, there is no hybrid actually on that one. These all can provide outstanding efficiency and practicality while potentially costing less to own and operate. Sometimes the smartest purchase isn't the biggest or most popular vehicle, it's one that actually fits your lifestyle. So in the Toyota world, in the Toyota lineup, let me know in the comments below which model suits exactly and fits exactly what you need. Is it the new Gen RAV4? Is it something like the Toyota Highlander, whether it's the full EV that's coming in a couple of months, the hybrid or the non-hybrid? Perhaps the Toyota Corolla Cross is actually a perfect in-between in terms of size, in terms of pricing, in terms of capability. Being offered in a non-hybrid and a hybrid is also a great starting point if you're not sure about the electrification of powertrain systems in your vehicle. Hope you enjoyed this topic, video, and review, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.